Welcome in Finland, in Lapland to be precise. We're in the north of the country. This is the town of Kemi. It has a lot of tourist attractions and one of them is ice driving.
Daniel, we're here in Kemi on the ice. What can people expect when they come to this driving experience?
We have many different kinds of experiences here. So what we have is we can offer very short experience, driving from 5 minutes to even half an hour. And then what we do for corporates is morning sessions, evening sessions, and even driver training for 1 or 2 days or even a week.
How many people can come here in one day in a group?
Normal group size is between 8 to 12 people. That's what we have daily. When corporates come, it's normally from 22 to even 40 people per day.
What kind of different ice tracks do you have here?
We have different kinds of setups, each kind of simulating different kind of driving techniques. So we have one circuit which is 2.5 kilometers, which is right behind us here. That is a kind of a fast and flowing circuit, good for bigger cars. Then behind me here is a smaller circuit, 1.5 kilometers, more tight and more technical. Then we have ovals, we have brake and avoid techniques and other circuits as well.
What can people expect of the program? How does it look like when they get in the car?
Well, first when they do get into the car, so the idea is to introduce them to the element of driving on ice. So that's, for many people, it's the absolute first time. So starting from the very basics, learning what does it mean when you're driving on ice, how the car handles. And then from there we start practicing driving lines, braking points, and just basically building everybody's confidence levels.
What is so specific about driving on the ice?
What is so specific? This is a kind of a very, very safe and fun environment to practice. What does it mean when you lose basically the control of car? So you could simulate this into wet conditions on tarmac, even gravel. So I want people to go home with an understanding and a little bit of understanding on if they ever get into a situation of aquaplaning or sliding the car, what to do. They might have a memory in their backbone that be calm and wait for the slide.
Besides this, people can also get in the car in the passenger seat in some rally cars and some other supercars?
That's true, yes. Our boys will then take you out on hot laps in rally cars and even Lamborghinis. So that's again something that you will never experience anywhere else when a Finnish rally driver takes you out on proper racing speeds.
Do you also have programs for, let's say, more advanced drivers?
We do, yes. So when a more advanced driver would come to us, they would normally have something that they want to learn. So we would first assess their driving and then start fine-tuning their weak points. So it could be just, for instance, like Belgian drivers, you don't have ice, but you have tarmac. So to kind of adapt your tarmac technique onto ice and gravel. So that's what we normally do.
But it's not necessary for the normal clients to have any experience in race cars or on the ice?
No, you don't need any kind of racing license, or actually you don't even need a driving license to come and drive with us.
So everybody's welcome?
Everybody's welcome, yes.
Enough talking, time to get behind the wheel.
The most common mistake is if this is the bend,
yeah,
you would come in from here like this. You would come in from this way and then go in. So you understeer.
yeah.
So that's just one common mistake, that people don't go wide enough. All right. Well, now we're on the main circuit.
Mm-hmm.
This one is 2.5 kilometers long. It's 12 meters wide. At some point, it's even 20 meters wide.
Okay.
So start driving now. Let's do one lap.
Mm-hmm.
See how you do.
Yeah.
And then I'll start giving you a bit of instruction.
Okay.
So here, let's take it easy the first lap.
Yeah.
Coming in wide on this one, turning right. And with a tight bend like this, when you take your foot off the throttle, you can feel that the Tesla will start sliding up a little bit. So straight and heading up to the left. And now you brake here, turn in here. So Just let the car slide around the corner nicely. Good. Now you come into a long bend, so just keep a nice steady throttle, 50-60 kilometers. Just hold it, let the car drift out. First stick is you come in, second stick is where you sharply turn in. Now you turn in now. Good. Good. And now heading for that stick up there, a long left. Good. Come into a sharp turn. Brake now. Turn in now. Good. And then up here.
Aim for this pole.
Yeah. Okay, and now we're coming back to the main straight. Few tips. Use the whole width of the circuit.
Okay.
So you're coming in fairly shallow. So for instance, now we're coming to the next corner here. So go right to the left edge,
To the outside.
little bit deeper in and turn in.
Yeah.
So let's start widening your driving lines a
Okay.
little bit. But otherwise, your driving is very good.
Thanks. This is to be smoother in the corners, I think.
Smoother in the corners, yes, and
the oversteer,
you can carry on a little bit more speed when you're coming into a corner. Just before mid corner, you can lift a bit to get the tail out to help you. Nice. Now wider here, wider, good. And now start coming in.
Yeah, you feel if you release the throttle that the car starts moving.
Yeah. Well, with a fairly heavy car, a four-wheel drive car, so that's one of the techniques of getting the rear end out. So you can either come with a heavy speed and brake once hard, and the rear will start moving, or like you're doing, just lifting off the throttle. Now start turning in. Yeah. Soon after the exit point, there, once brake hard, and then turn immediately. Now brake, turn. Very nice. Good, let it slide and just up to the left. Good, good. Brake once here and then turn. Good. Now lift a bit and then back straight on. You very much steer a four-wheel drive car with your throttle. So that your throttle response is the way to kind of fine-tune your driving. When you do drifting, you don't much need the steering wheel. Okay.
And there's not only the Tesla, there's also the very powerful Subaru Impreza WRX STI.
Absolutely stunning, wonderful.
You just did some hot laps in the Subaru. How was it?
Yeah, it was absolutely stunning experience. You when you sit in the Subaru STI on ice and you hear the sound of the engine like a beast, and you do drifting, and it was just unique experience you never had in other places.
And just before you went out in the Teslas, driving on the ice on the sea, a special experience, I suppose.
Yeah, for me, of course, it's my first time driving on ice, actually sitting in a supercar, Tesla. Yeah, it's quite a unique experience. You never get that experience anywhere else in the world.
How was the feeling?
It was fun and exciting, and I would do it again if I could. Yeah.
After the driving, it's time to get in this very stylish snow taxi to get a ride across the sea to one of the many islands off the coast of Kemi. Once arrived on one of the islands, it's time to enjoy the views, enjoy the sunset, and have a taste of a typical Finnish barbecue. Ice driving needs a lot of preparation, but the organization in Kemi makes sure that those tracks are perfect every single day.
We clean the circuits every morning. So what we are doing is that we clean yesterday's driving lines away. So we also break the surface a little bit so that you got better grip. And we keep on widening the circuit, so every morning there's a little bit of crust on the sides, so we take that off as well. And then basically just cleaning it, getting it nice, ready for the next people coming in the morning.
And how long does it take to clean the circuit?
It takes a couple of hours. If we have a snowstorm, then we have to be clearing the circuits all night, because we're now on frozen sea ice, so the wind will blow the snow onto the circuit so quickly that if we don't do anything during the night, in the morning we won't even have circuits. Every morning we need to have the good condition for this driving. So every morning we clean the snow away from last night's driving, but also we kind of break the surface that makes it nice and smooth. So when you're, for instance, driving with studs, so it eats away the ice surface, so we just chamfer it nice and smooth.
And once the ice is ready, it's time to get back behind the wheel to further hone our ice racing skills.
So this is a more tighter circuit, even though it's even wider than the other circuits.
Okay.
So with this, the acceleration points are much shorter.
Yeah.
So it's more of the on, off. And for instance here, off, and then back on again. That's it, good. And here come into a very tight bend. So at the stick, as soon as you pass the stick, you want to start straightening and going out. Good. Now accelerate out. Here, another stick, very sharp. Brake and then turn in. Now accelerate out right on this corner here and then back in. And immediate left now. And there you can see the two sticks. So place yourself here. Now start turning in. Good. And with the second stick you can lift a bit to get a bit of a better angle. Good. And now accelerate out. And now we come into this sharp one. Keep on this side. Good. And now in. On the stick, lift a bit on the stick. Good. And now accelerate. So now the same thing, but the other way. Okay. There you turned in twice.
Yeah.
So you could have just hold on a second or so, just turned it in and let the rear end slide a bit more. So now when the car started sliding, you corrected it a little bit. So that's why you had to do that swerving. So with confidence, you would not have hit the stick.
Yeah.
And that I saw that you thought that okay, we're gonna go in.
Yeah.
With a little more speed, you could have just nicely rolled around the corner. Good. Now off, steering straight, and then we go.
And after this session, it's time to take a break and have a look at the cars you can drive here in Kemi.
Well, we're here now in the coffee shop having a quick break of the driving day. For instance, today with a group that we would start the driving by assessing who is coming, what kind of a group is here. For the basic driver training, we use four-wheel drive cars, and the basic training is done with a Tesla, a full electric car. And then after that you would advance to a Subaru rally car, which is then completely different, even though four-wheel drive car. And then you would end the day with a Lamborghini. So 3 very different kinds of cars, which also gives you a good understanding on kind of learning different kinds of driving. You have to adapt your driving a little bit according to what the car is. So with the Tesla and the advanced technology of the cars, you drive it very differently to, for instance, a very raw, basic rally car like the Subaru.
Time to try the Subaru then. A very powerful machine, which is ideally suited for ice driving.
Come in where you were, you will have a nice angle. Brake earlier so that the car starts sliding, and when it's sliding, keep it in 3rd gear, but just drive it straight into the corner, and there you brake 2nd, and then just turn it right. It will go. You don't need the handbrake at all.
We zagen je net in de Subaru. Wat is zo speciaal om daar niet op die moeilijke sneeuwcircuits te rijden?
Wel, het is met dat het een 4-wiel aangedreven wagen is, kun je de wagen wel iets meer onder controle houden. En met de instructeurs die je uitleg geven, kun je wel enorm veel bijleren. En ja, het is een rallywagen, dus ja, het is wel uniek om een keer te beleven.
Daniel, besides ice driving, what can the people also do here in Kemi?
Kemi is a very unique location because of its situation by the sea. So all the activities are based on frozen sea ice, and one of the biggest attractions here is the world's biggest snow castle, which is just behind us here.
They also can do some tours with snow scooters with reindeers?
That's correct, yeah. There's a lot of other winter activities like snowmobiles, huskies, reindeers, and basically everything that you can do on a frozen sea.
You say it's a frozen sea. How thick is the ice?
At the moment we're driving on ice that is 85 centimeters thick.
Time to visit the ice castle in Kemi, one of the main attraction points here in Kemi, and it draws a lot of attention.
We are using sea ice and also taking the water from the sea, just freeze it and make a snow for that. Then we have different kind of molds that we use to create the castle, the structures, use the ice blocks for tables, walls, sculpture works and stuff like that. There's a restaurant for 250 people, chapel, you can get married here. There is a snow hotel, you can sleep night over here. Usually we have 1 month period of time to make the castle. The record is 15 days when the weather was not so good for us, so we had to be fast.
On average, every year, how many people visit this castle?
It's around 100,000 people.
Daniel, besides the ice driving project, you also have another project to bring the ice driving to stadiums. How will that work?
That's correct, yes. So not everybody has the opportunity to come to Lapland, and it's around 10% of the world population that have ever experienced snow and ice. So what we are doing is that we are taking snow and ice driving to people, and that means that we'll be building an ice driving circuit and simulating Lapland in big stadiums around the world.
And how will these events look like?
It's an ice driving demonstration show, showing people the Finnish driving skills and basically giving them an opportunity to touch the winter and Arctic.
Time to have a final run then at the wheel of the Subaru Impreza WRX. Very spectacular machine with great results here on the ice.
Very good driving, very good driving. A little bit calmness, but fantastic.
That was it from Finland, from Cami. Go and try it yourself.